everyone is currently together, right? Everyone is, except for Kara.
Who is an owl
and
still?
Ben.
Who should go to a
Who
break?
you are...
I'm flying back to try and find them.
Yes, and I think the group is on their way back to meet up with you. As a quick recap, you are all in the night market. You were looking for the Kid Resistance headquarters.
Yep.
You found a mural, like a graffitied mural, that looked like a bunch of pipes with roots growing out of them, which formed into this, like, large tree kind of city with little huts all over it. And it looked like the pattern of the 3 crowns with an X through it, which is the symbol of Kid Resistance. It was attached to kind of a weird-looking, very plain but sturdy maintenance door with a lock that Star couldn't pick on the first try. But before taking another swing at it or blowing the door open with the storm key, Bree told you that Ben had been arrested and was bringing you back to meet up with Kara, who had been investigating that.
I think we were meeting back at the Danny's or at the Tick Tower.
Near the Tick Tower, I think.
One of the two?
So the Tick Tower back in the Anvil?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess you would make your way back out. Do you go just like back out the way you came in from the night market?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
To the big tent?
Yeah.
It wasn't the Anvil. I had gone down to the Anvil to see what I could see, but we were in the
Trades.
trades where the Danny's
Well, no.
was.
Okay, we were in the... okay, well, we were on the trades where the Dandies was, but then we went up to the Ashes to go to the night market.
But Kara and Bree had said we are going to meet, and I think it was next to the Danny's.
I think it was next to the Danny's.
Yeah.
I think that's what we said. Back
Yeah.
to the scene of the crime.
That makes sense to me.
Back to the scene of the crime. Yeah, and you make your way back down to the trades, and things have returned completely to normal. The streets are bustling. Danny's has a lineup out the door, and there is no evidence that any of this has taken place. It seems like things have just swirled right back to normal when you make your way down. Kara, if you're on the lookout, are you still an owl?
Yes. Yeah.
Then you would spot the group first before they picked out an owl in thousands of people.
Mm-hmm. I would, I think, fly down and land on Rowan's blueberry bush.
I think you've spent enough time as an owl around me now that I'd probably put it together pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Kara. Okay, Ben. What's the story? We're on our way to meet you now. So what's going on?
Well, good news. There's a reporter reporting on, overbearing legal crackdowns. Bad news. Ben is in the quench.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't look so easy to get over there. Looks like there's a bit of a dead zone for, things that fly over the lava.
What do you mean by dead zone?
Oh, well, everything that flies avoids it. So there's, a sort of a no-traffic airspace. So I'm suspecting there's some pretty serious risks involved in, say, sneaking in.
Yeah.
Can someone describe the quench to me again like I understood it the whole time?
Yeah, the Quench is the Mox the Rain super prison.
Okay.
It is a floating facility above a huge pile of Godfire lava.
Oh, it's floating.
It's suspended above it. So there's 4 bridges that connect it just in cardinal directions, with a heavy tick presence around the outside.
So you're saying we take out the bridges and the whole thing goes crumbling down into the volcano.
Yeah. Saving Ben.
Leaving this city of filth.
And would we know that maybe, when people get thrown in the quench, you can just go talk to somebody? Can we just go, petition our MP or whatever?
Go
or, do we really?
bail.
Yeah.
I think you can make, a history check to see how much you know about the legal system in Mox the Rain.
Yeah, can I do that?
I do that. I mean, I'm already running for office, so we might as well.
I rolled a 16.
And I'll say, Our
Wait,
nobles can do it with advantage.
Oh, sick.
how many people are saying this in character? Because
Yeah.
First, it has to race through our brains to see have the idea. Then we'll say
I
it out
rolled
loud.
2 19s, which is 24 history.
Nice.
I rolled a 1 and a 5, which even plus 9 is not good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're.
21.
I think. A 21 and a 24, 16, and Kara, what did you get?
My roll was not serious. I rolled a 16, but I don't know what this place is or anything
No, I
about
don't.
it.
No,
I got an 8.
an 8. Yeah,
Mhm.
that checks out.
yep.
Star, I think, because Ro and I also I don't really know how you would know anything about this.
No,
so,
no, I don't think it would make any sense.
But Star, I think, would dealing with the trade and stuff like that. I think you kind of have to know how the law works when you're sending things to other places. What will happen to the caravans and such that you send out if they should be caught with contraband. So the quench is usually, it's not. So each of the tick towers has a small jail in it for keeping minor offenders, and that is a situation where it's quite easy to get in and just if you needed to talk with somebody, it probably wouldn't be that hard to get in. The quench, it will be more difficult, but not impossible. You will have to go through a bit more red tape to get in and have a conversation with Ben. But you also know that if Ben has been taken in, that there are a lot of processes here that sort of protect Ben while he is in custody. And you are pretty sure Ben is going to get a phone call.
Oh. Okay.
And by phone call, we mean.
He's going to be able to talk to you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, just everyone imagine that I just said that. All of that, what Mike just said. But in Star's voice.
I can't imagine it, honestly.
I'm having trouble imagining it.
I mean, that's just it. That's just. I'm sorry. Don't blame me for your tiny little imaginations.
I have a small mind.
So we wait for him to call, or we go visit?
I mean, to be honest, going to have a visit might not hurt. I mean, if we're there, then maybe he can actually, give us a phone call while we are there. What is a phone?
And although I'd rather not do it, if need be, I could throw my family's name around a bit. It does hold a bit of sway here.
Oh,
Okay. I mean,
well, that certainly would help.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, I think we got to be there for him. He's still pretty young. This is probably terrifying. I think we should be there.
We could also talk to what was that guy's name again? The guy who was going around in our neighborhood, our local mayor or whatever.
Gleary.
The guys who, that guy. Yeah, he could potentially be a representative. I don't know.
I hate to say it, but if he represents the Ashes, he's probably not a particularly powerful local politician.
True.
But he probably has experience in these matters, nonetheless.
Also, there's somebody that Bree and I could perhaps talk to.
Is it helpful to have, I don't know, a professional arguer or something?
A lawyer of some kind?
Lawyer?
Almost certainly it would be helpful.
We should find out whether that's necessary first, perhaps.
I agree. Let's go talk to Ben first.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just a big confusion. We all know that Ben, we have plenty of evidence that Ben is not a member of this group. He came in with us. He owns the house with us. He's from outside of town. It'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I mean, assuming he didn't get himself in more trouble, during the run or whatever. But
Ben,
but yeah,
never.
Okay.
Smash cut to Ben doing something illegal.
Shivving someone in prison.
Yeah, and being lowered into lava. Okay, so you're going to make your way, just go right down to the quench?
Yeah, and I'll lose my owl shape.
But still sit on Rowan?
No, I'll hop down.
You're heading back towards the central shaft, which I still have not renamed, but Mitch isn't here, so it's okay. and someone bumps your shoulder, Star. Actually kind of like walks in between the group of you and bumps you and Bree.
I grab him.
What a lunatic.
And yeah, so you reach out and grab him, and he says, "Sorry, I wasn't really looking where I was going."
What does he look like?
He's a human. He is like strangely plain. He has no real like distinguishing features, just like this dirty brown hair.
Did Rowan see him steal anything?
Yeah, that's where I am too. Like
He did not steal anything, and when you grabbed his hand, it wasn't in your pockets or anything. And he just says, "I was on my way to Danny's, and I guess I must have just tripped into you." And the way that he's talking is just like, it's so... There's something about it that's kind of keying you off, and you realize that he is speaking to you in Thieves' Cant.
Oh.
It is okay. It's very busy city.
The rest of us don't understand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sort of keep talking back to him, and I'll be like, in Thieves, yeah. Like
So
I'm-
like Thieves'
yeah.
Cant, the way that it works is it to everybody else, it sounds like a kind of weird, mundane conversation, but it's really sending specific signals, and he is telling you to look back towards Danny's.
Okay. I'm gonna let go of his hand when I realize what's going on, and I'll be like, "Oh, no worries. Thank you. No worries. It happens." And then I'm gonna look back at Danny's.
He just says, "Yeah, I'm meeting a good friend of mine there. I must have been distracted," and then starts walking back towards Danny's, and you can see standing in like an alleyway behind Danny's, you can see Cassandra.
Okay. All right. Excuse me, everybody, for a moment, and I'm gonna just sort of slip into the crowd.
Everything okay?
Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll just be right back. And then I'm just gonna sort of slip into the crowd, and as I walk, like, I'm imagining it's bustling.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna slip into the crowd, and like, I want to like roll a stealth check and use my glamored leather and kind of change my outfit as I walk away. So like, if the people in our group are watching me, like they just see, they see me walking away with my cloak, and then as people pass by, it just kind of blends in with the rest of the crowd.
Okay, so while you guys head into the Things on Sticks district, I'm going to hop over with Star. So you slip into the crowd quite easily. You see the others start heading towards the Things on Sticks district over your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
The person who kind of keyed you off in this direction has also disappeared into the crowd. They're not walking with you now.
Mm-hmm.
And you make your way into the alleyway behind Danny's. And as you do, two other large shapes step into the alleyway behind you and kind of like block the way out.
Okay.
Cassandra is like visibly annoyed.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Where are you going? What's happening?
A friend of mine has been captured by the police, and we are going to see if we can get him out.
Are you forgetting our little deal?
Which part of it?
The part where you stay neutral. The part where you don't get arrested helping out Kid Resistance.
We were not helping out anything. And
But you are about to go and connect yourself with that. People are watching. People are going to see you two are only useful to me if you stay unaligned.
We are unaligned currently. We are going to remain unaligned. The problem with Kid Resistance is that Kid Resistance believed that they owned our house. And so we were forming a truce with them so that they would leave our house alone.
And those two figures, you feel them step closer behind you.
Yeah. What do they look like? I'm gonna like look over my shoulder. Like, what do they look like?
So you see one orc who is just wearing like, this person is not trying to blend in. They are wearing like black mercenary armor. They have like a big scar over one eye, two big tusks that have curled back almost into their forehead. And they have one hand on a dagger at their side. And the other one is like this large dwarven woman who is... Yeah, she also, like, her head is completely shaved, and she also has, like, a thin shaved beard. She has like one milky white eye, and both of them are just like kind of standing behind you, blocking your path.
Okay. Yeah, look, there's no need for this. There's no need to be all muscly about this.
There won't be any need if you cut him off. Your friend who's got burned, he's burned.
I'm not going to cut him off. Are you crazy?
If you go down there and you align yourself with them and people see it, you become useless to me. And that money that I gave you becomes a debt. And you do not want to owe me money. You and the lizard are in a contract.
Okay.
What the others do is none of my concern. But I need you in with the families. If you go down there and then they see you and you try to sign up for any job with the families, they're going to know, or regardless of what you want, they're going to think that you're with Kid Resistance and they're not going to take you on, or at least they're going to be watching you.
Right. Even if I just go there, I mean, I'm not playing a role with Kid Resistance here.
It's about people's assumptions. It's how they see you. And if you go down and you help out that guy who was helping out Kid Resistance foolishly, I'll deal with him when he's out.
That guy was not helping out Kid Resistance.
Well, that's what he got arrested for.
Well, I mean, the police arrest people for lots of reasons. He was just caught up in the scuffle. What, we were at the same Danny's as Kid Resistance, and now all of a sudden we're the same as them? That's not how that works.
Not you, but him.
Yeah, Star's like kind of like visibly like furrowing his brow and kind of like rubbing his temples. Look, I don't like all this. I don't like all this cloak and dagger stuff personally. But if need be, perhaps we can arrange something. Okay?
What? I'm gonna need more specifics than that. You're not into cloak and dagger. You're in the night market at the weighted stone at the bag of rocks, and you're down there and you're taking illicit money from me for a cursed chair that keeps people alive, not with the cloak and dagger stuff. Listen, I gave you 30,000 gold! She's screaming. And like the two mercenaries behind you are getting nervous and kind of like looking over their shoulder.
Keep it down. My God, what's the matter with you? You're not very good at this either, by as far as I can tell. Jeez. Okay, look. I can promise that I will not go into the tower. Okay? I will also try to convince my lizard friend not to go in the tower. If it's that much of a big deal to you, it won't happen. How about that?
It's...
My friends, they are going to have to go and deal with it because they have to. But
they're not my concern. They're not involved in this.
Okay, then we will not go into this stupid prison or whatever, okay?
If you get burned...
I don't want to work for the royal families any more than you do. Any more than you want me to, okay? I don't want to get wrapped up in that part. Let me tell you, I know how complicated this gets. Also, by the way, I was thinking, while we're here and discussing this, I was thinking about running for local office. What do you think about that? Huh? Would that be useful to you?
In what way?
Well, I don't know. Just in terms of, like, I was thinking that there's some things that I'd like to clean up around our neighborhood. You know, the ashes is kind of dirty a little bit. Also, you know, this is how these kind of things work. You have... You know, if I'm in a place of power, I can more easily get into situations where I can talk to people, you know, these kinds of things.
You can run for office. You can apply for whatever job that you want after this contract is finished. I need you in that party. And to do that, you are going to have to work with the families.
Okay, fine. All right, fine. Okay.
And to do that, you are going to have to not align yourselves with anybody else until that point. After that, the debt is paid.
Okay, fine.
You've earned the money that I already gave you.
When is this party?
Next week.
Yeah, what day? Like, how many days are we talking?
It's 6 days.
6 days. Okay, so all I have to do is not go to that stupid prison for 6 days.
Yes, just don't align yourself. Just stay neutral. I've already sent the possible jobs to your place. I don't know if you saw those.
Fine. Okay, fine. I'm going to go right now. Okay, fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Good.
It's fine.
Good.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Why are we
Then go.
What?
Get out of here.
Jeez.
And she, like, pushes past you and, like, pushes both of the mercenaries out of the way. And then just, like, shoos you back into the crowd.
Well, wait.
And she's like, don't you make me regret this.
When she pushes out of the way of the mercenaries. And so she's walking away or she's pushing me out of the alleyway?
She's pushing you out of the alleyway.
Oh, okay, cool. As I get, like, pushed past the mercenaries, I'm going to be like, hey, man, you're a boss. Like, I don't know. What's up with... Like, I'm gonna look at the mercenaries like, hey, come on. Like kind of like a getting them on my side sort of persuasion check. Like, can you believe
yeah,
this?
sure. Yeah, you can do persuasion.
Okay, cool. I got 24.
24, yeah. As they like get out of the way and they're kind of looking around, and you can see that there are guards out here.
Yeah. I'm gonna like point at the guards and point at her and look at them and be like,
and yeah, I think you see the orc is kind of like the dwarf stays completely dead faced, but the orc is kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, all right, well, whatever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, pleasure doing business with you. And then like going to like just kind of walk off into the crowd again.
Yeah, and you see like a guard does head over in this direction and then is like walking towards you, like they're going to intercept you, and then looks over and you see them see Cassandra, and he just turns on his heel and walks quickly away.
Okay. Gonna mentally log that one. All right, cool.
And yeah, Cassandra just like, she's like scratching at her head, like you see scales kind of peeling off, and makes her way back into the alleyway, into the dark, with the mercenaries following.
Okay. I'm going to take a mental note of the fact that the guards are clearly on her payroll, and also that that orc. I like that orc. Gonna hire that orc. All right, yeah. Then I just want to head back and rejoin the group.
Okay, great. So we can rejoin. Okay, so I would say you're waiting and eating things on sticks for maybe 15 minutes. And then I guess Star, you just like reappear next to them.
Okay. Hello. No. Sorry about that. Okay. Star like just claps his hands and is like, okay, full disclosure time. So, we were helping Yuri sell this chair, this horribly evil chair. And we may have made a deal with some unsavory characters, and as a result, Bree and I are not allowed to go to the prison for at least 6 days.
Oh?
Okay.
Why the strange time limit?
Well, we have to go to a party to rub some elbows. This was part of the payment that Bree had to take, and we don't want to appear like we're on anyone's payroll. You know what I mean? And the problem is that if we go to the prison and Ben now looks like he's with kid resistance, we might look like we're on someone's payroll. And so Bree and I at least need to appear to be neutral, or else Yuri is going to be in a lot of trouble.
What party is this?
Well, the details of the party are currently nailed to our front door, so I would suggest that Bree and I go check that out right now.
Oh. I have that
party?
invitation on me. I go, I went to my house and got mail earlier, and digs through through her bag and grabs the various parchments.
Yeah, okay, so in there, yeah, that's the thing.
Is this the same party that Kefren told me about?
So this piece of mail that you have is not about the party.
Oh.
It is, so when Bree hands you, it is a drink menu from the Bag of Rocks, but is in Thieves' Cant as well. And each menu item is a job that you could take.
Okay.
Yeah, so I hand you a drink menu, and it is equally confusing based on my understanding of reading.
Not everything is as it appears, I guess. I'm going to need a few minutes to kind of decode this. It's not written in the normal, you know what I mean? Rowan, you know what I mean.
Absolutely, yep. Mm-hmm.
So,
Look, it's not complicated. We need to get into a party. The party's in 6 days. All Bree and I have to do is look like we're not aligned to anybody.
Yeah, just 6 days, I guess, Mike. Trigger
yes, it
me.
does,
Just say like that's the same time the party that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Well, I was also hoping to attend this party, I believe, to catch up with an old friend.
Ah, perfect.
But they're concerned that you going to prison will make it seem like you're on someone's payroll?
Yes, we need to look unaligned. New in town, which we actually are, to be fair.
Will hurt your reputation with the other underground groups.
Yeah, indeed. I'm not too concerned. I don't really understand all the big deals.
Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure that me going to the prison doesn't ruin any chance I have
Nope,
of
they
finding
told
my
me
friend.
she said they didn't care about anybody, just me and Bree.
Okay, well, I'm glad we got that straightened out. Now, the real question is, how are you all getting invited to parties without me?
You were there, Rowan, when what was it? Wait, was Rowan with me when Kefren told me about the party? I think he was. Yeah.
Oh,
You were there, Rowan. It's that gala that my friend Kefren suggested I attend if I'm to find Femora.
Right.
Whew.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're going to have to go shopping for a dinner suit.
I think that would be likely, yes, but not guaranteed.
Okay, right. Yeah, no. Once I saw Hibiscus, I kind of blanked on the rest there. Sorry about that. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm caught up. Yeah.
Your aunt Hibiscus?
It's been a bit of a roller coaster. Yeah. Okay. So I've been holding secrets too. So Kefren on his wall has a picture of him and Hibiscus.
Oh, that I don't. Is that strange?
Oh, well, I mean, I haven't seen another Furbolg since I left, and
he's a very worldly gentleman.
Yeah,
he has all sorts of connections.
Yeah. Well, it's just curious. You know, I mean, you're away from home for a long time, and then suddenly you see a picture of one of your favorite aunts hanging on the wall. It just makes you curious, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, but for now, we three can go to the prison to hopefully speak to Benjamin.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
clear this up.
Bree and I can stay here and sample some more food. How does that sound?
We could stay here. We could go see Pinchy.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
Where's Pinchy?
He is down in Queens somewhere, I think. I ran into him while on the run. He has a nice bathhouse. Wants us to come visit.
He has a bathhouse? Is he the proprietor?
This I have to see.
He is moving up in the world very fast. Wants us to come in party to, in 6 days? Bree asks the GM.
Sorry, what?
Pidgey said the steam baths were going to be open in like 6 days. And lining up with the party?
Yeah.
Almost like
What have I done?
Yeah. I know what I've done.
Well,
What
that's
a
how we'll get ready for the
coincidence.
party.
If you know, it almost seems like someone is arranging all of these events to happen at the same time.
What a coincidence.
So weird.
No, I firmly believe that we create our own destiny. So on we go.
Good luck with Ben.
Yeah. Let us know how it goes. I'll read this menu.
Any chance, Mike, that any of this is counted as a short rest?
Yes, definitely. Standing and eating things with sticks.
All right, I'm
is
going to
for
do
sure
arcane
short rest.
recovery and get some spell slots back.
I guess any of the other mail I would have had, I'd give it to them as well.
Yes, so there was a map of the city, which we have in the Mila note, which has Gleary's offices.
I'll give that to
circled
Valen. He seems like a nerd.
What did you give me?
in the ashes.
Map of the city with Gleely's office.
Basically, there's a building like just northwest of the Molten Encampment, and that is where Gleary's offices are. Okay, so I think I'll jump over to Ben. So you are currently being led out of your cell.
Mm-hmm. Last thing I remember was asking for a bath.
And so they do bring you to a bathroom, like and with a room with a bath in it, and you can see that it is kind of like a large communal room. Like there are several baths in it, but there is nobody else in here. And this dwarf lets you in and just says, take a bit of time, but do be snappy about it. We have some questions, and the quicker we get the questions out of the way, then the quicker we can figure out what's going on here.
Okay, thank you.
And no need. This is we want to make sure that we get as much information as we can. So I just want you to know that I'm on your side. And he steps outside and closes the door.
Yeah, Ben just kind of looks confused a little bit at the door, and then he'll peel out of his gear and rinse off. He's been struggling teaching himself how to bathe with his new feathers. Like it's different, so it takes him a little bit, but he gets a decent. He still looks quite dirty, but he gets a modicum of stink off of him, and gives his armor like a scrub, and just is like looking around for somewhere to dry it, and just kind of sticks it back on, soaking wet, and then opens the door and just kind of, I'm done. I'm ready.
So you open the door, and the dwarf is not standing there, and you can just hear yelling. So, like, you open the door, and across from you, you can see that there is a room that he was leading you to, and the door is open. There's a table inside, 2 chairs on one side, 1 chair on the other, just like a stone room, windowless room. And the hallway kind of curves in both directions outside of the door that you're looking out. And you can hear echoing down the hall. So what I don't understand is who authorized taking an army to Danny's at brunch to arrest a bunch of children? The Times is going to be all over us. The Daily is already doing a story on it. I've got people standing outside and just like chewing out a bunch of people. You can hear that echoing from like just around the corner. And
Ben just listens with great concentration.
Yeah, and while this person is yelling, you see the face of the dwarf who led you in kind of peek around the corner and then see you, and is like torn, like looking around where this person is clearly like screaming at him, back to you. And he, kind of like puts his head down and hustles down the hallway towards you and says, just right in here, please, and brings you across the hall into this room with the table.
Ben follows.
And
sits down in the 1 chair.
Yeah. And like storming around the corner, you see another dwarf wearing green and gold robes. But this person is wearing like, they're not as formal as everybody else's. There's like sort of a casual pantsuit on under it. And he's wearing a wide brimmed cap. And he comes around the corner and he says, Is that one of them? Are you taking him in there to question right now? And the dwarf turns around and says, Sergeant Iron Gauntlet, I was just told to do this. I don't understand. He's like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Who told you to do this? And from the other side, coming around the other corner, you just hear, I did. And a drow, one of the drow who escorted you back here, steps around the corner, and Gauntlet looks across and just says, Moonstone. And he says, yes, Irogar, please, just mind your own business. All of this was approved. All of this was signed off by the chief. We have a few questions. This has been a nuisance. Kid Resistance has been a thorn in our side for too long, and they are actively striking out against the United Families. And in the interest of public safety, we took down some of their top operatives. He's like, operatives? They're kids! You're out of your mind! And she looks over at you and nods for you to go into the room. And
Ben does like a curt nod back and hustles into the room. I think he's been just all eyes, like watching a tennis match.
Yeah. And Moonstone looks at the dwarf that had been escorting you around and says, McGill, you're dismissed. He said, but I was supposed to do the questions. I wrote all my questions down. I had it all prepared. I mean, me and Cuddy were going to do like a good cop, bad cop thing. And she's like, yes, well, that will no longer be necessary. I have the questions that we need. And she just sort of like motions him aside, and he takes a step back and kind of shrugs at you, and then makes his way down the hallway towards Iron Gauntlet.
Yeah, Ben takes a seat with a squelch.
She goes to close the door, and Gauntlet's hand grabs the door and holds it open and looks at you and says, "What's your name?"
Benjamin Craven.
Has anyone told you how this works yet?
No.
And Moonstone says, "I will let the child know how things go." And he says, "It's okay. I'll take care of it. Listen, we have a few practices here,
Okay.
but you should know, if you have never been in a situation like this before, which I've never seen you face."
I haven't been in
And
a
I would remember.
situation like this before.
That's right, the new thing. So you don't know how this works, is that right?
Right.
Okay. Sergeant Moonstone here is going to ask you a few questions, and you have a couple of options regarding that. And Moonstone looks visibly irritated at this. He says, "Sergeant Moonstone is about to ask you, and like pointedly looking at Moonstone when he says this, if you would like to step into a zone of truth.
Oh,
It is a spell that will compel you to tell only the truth."
right. Like at the customs coming in?
Correct. And just like there, you have a choice to say no. If you would not like to step into that, we cannot force you. We cannot read your mind without you first saying that you would like to allow it.
You're gonna read
If
my
there
mind?
is nothing going... Sorry?
You're gonna read my mind?
Not if you don't want us to.
Okay. Ben is like, yeah, his eyes are darting between the two of them, and he's kind of shifting subtly, but definitely, like, there's little squishes, just squish, squish, squish as he fidgets in his chair.
I also... Do you have anyone in town who you'd like contacted about your current whereabouts?
Yeah, my Uncle Yuri and my Uncle Rowan.
Okay, well, we will make sure that they are contacted for you.
Okay, Yuri Ditch Digger, he's from here. I don't know where he lives. I haven't been to his house yet.
It's okay. We'll give you access to a scrying pool. You can contact them directly.
Oh, that's cool.
And Moonstone says, "Yes, but before that, there are some questions that I need to ask you." And she pushes the door the rest of the way closed, and you hear some muffled swearing as Gauntlet makes his way back down the hall. So, you've heard all that. Would you like to make things easy and just allow us to use the Circle of Truth? Or, if you want, no questions need be asked at all, and I can just... And pointing to her head and then yours.
I prefer... If I do the Circle of Truth, you won't read my mind?
No. And she sighs.
Okay. Okay, yes, I will. I'll do the Circle of Truth, please. And Ben tries to straighten up a little bit, and shoulders kind of go back a little bit with a squish.
Okay, and she nods, and then over the next couple of minutes, sets up a circle of Zone of Truth.
Yep.
You can see that there are slots in the room around the table to place candles and to begin this ritual. As she moves around to do it, she does it completely silently, very efficiently,
Yep.
without looking at you once.
Yeah, Ben's eyes are narrowed, and he's watching her very carefully.
And she says, "Okay, you're about to feel its effects. Just allow it to overtake you." And yes, you do feel the Circle of Truth take place. You feel an uncomfortable kind of prying in your mind. It's like the feeling of when you go to speak, but you are not trying to speak. It's a strange... You feel like a slight control coming over your brain.
Yeah, Ben just relaxes and allows the spell to... He willfully fails to save.
Okay. So she sits back down on the other side of the table and says, "Okay, first off, what is your name?"
Benjamin Craven.
Are you known by any other aliases?
Yes.
What are they?
I swore an oath to not reveal that to someone very important to me.
And she says, I need to know.
Why? It's mine. If your name is who you are, I am Benjamin Craven.
And you can see, she takes out a little notepad and starts writing. What is your involvement with Kid Resistance?
We just got here from the... they were in our house. We got a house. And they were in there. And we just met them to ask them to not break into our house anymore.
Where is this house?
The Ashes.
Where specifically?
It's not too far from the night market. I don't remember the exact address. I'm sorry. I could take you there. Maybe show you on a map.
I'll have that arranged.
It is ours legally. It was a gift.
You say ours. Who else are you referring to?
The rest of the Caravan of Wonders. We're adventurers.
What are their names?
Do I have to tell you?
You don't have to tell me anything, but I will tell you that, given enough reasons, I can put in a request to have your mind read. This lets me know that you're telling the truth, so any answers that you give me, I can be solid on.
Okay, there's a lot of us. There's Valen. Valen is he's a wizard. He's probably the strongest of us. Then there's Kara. She's a halfling.
Just full names, please. I don't need their backstory. I'll find the rest on my own.
Okay. I can't remember Kara's last name. Valen's name is... It's long. Valen, Iron, Darius, Rutherford, the fourth. Kara...
And her eyebrow kind of raises a little bit when you say Rutherford.
Kara is... I don't know Kara's last name. Rowan Faycastle. Shooting Star Across the Desert Sky or In the Desert Sky. I can never remember. And then Brizicia. And then there's Stars, Family, Dust, Light, and Sky. Then there's Bido. My dogs, Garlic and Backflip. Then there's the Woads.
I think, wait, smash cut to 35 minutes later when you finish naming everyone else.
Yeah. Ben is just like looking at the table the whole time, like shoulders slumped.
Why were you meeting with Kid Resistance?
I already told you, because we wanted them to stop breaking into our house.
So you are not a member of Kid Resistance?
No.
How did you shut down our tick?
I'm sorry about that if I damaged it. I didn't mean to. I just didn't want it to hurt Bree. I just turned it off with magic. Sometimes I can... it's like I feel where magic is, and sometimes I can move it back to before. Yeah.
Interesting. It is unharmed.
Oh.
There's no need to worry.
Well, that's good.
It is back in working condition. They are hearty. That's the only reason I ask. Do you know where Kid Resistance's hideout is?
No.
And she is like surprised, like her eyes kind of widen a little bit. Why did you help them escape?
I was scared. I thought the ticks might kill us or kill them. And they're just kids like me. And I didn't want them to get hurt. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I'm an adventurer, and that's what adventurers do, is protect people. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know I was breaking the law.
You don't have to protect people here. The ticks will do that.
I thought the ticks don't go up into the ashes. Don't people up there need to be protected too?
And you feel that tingling sensation in your brain drop as the room kind of glows a little dimmer now. And she closes up her notepad and is just kind of sitting, and you can see like the gears in her head turning. And she says, "You're not a part of Kid Resistance, and I would advise you to stay away from them in the future. Any information that they may give you should be turned over to us immediately. They are criminals. Despite their youth, their crimes are quite serious, and helping them escape is a crime on its own, even if you didn't know it."
That's not... I didn't... That's not... And Ben just, like, shuts up. Like, he wants to say more, and he doesn't. He's just... What did they do? I've only seen, like, graffiti and stuff. It doesn't seem like that's worthy of sending, an army to Denny's at brunch.
And yeah, she, as you like mirror Gauntlet's words, her face like darkens, and she just stands up. The chair just slides backwards, screeches across the stone, and she opens the door and just yells out, "McGill, you can take him back." And then she walks away. And you see like McGill's head kind of poke back around the corner.
Yeah, Ben is like, when she stood up, he like jumped back in his seat. Now he's just like on edge, but with that anticlimax of nothing happened, and he just looks at McGill.
He says, I've been told you get a scrying call. You want to go get that done?"
Okay.
And yeah, he kind of like motions for you to come out.
Yeah, Ben follows him.
And you see there's another female dwarf standing out there. And she says, "Is this our criminal?" And he's like, no, it's good. He's been questioned. And she's like, "Oh, okay. Did the whole bad cop put this scar on my eye?" And then she kind of turns around and...
It looks good.
Yeah, and she just looks sad and just keeps walking away. But they bring you... McGill takes you down the hallway back towards your cell, but then turns and heads towards like the front of the facility. You're back outside again among the large buildings that hold other inmates. And you see that there's some kind of like obelisk-looking big pointed crystals, deep black, on top of a large raised altar, something that like 20 or 30 people could stand on. And there is a crystal blue pool in the middle of these obelisks. And he says, "All right, well, you get to contact one person, so, choose wisely. Just kneel in front of the pool, picture the person who you want to talk to.
Just one?
And they will appear to you.
Just one person?
Just one person."
Okay, I know who okay. Just right here? And
yeah.
Ben kneels in front of it and closes his eyes, and then he opens his eyes and he looks. Do I have to close my eyes?
No, you'll see them there. You should keep them open.
Okay.
And he points down in the water.
Oh. Okay. Rowan Faycastle.
So I guess Bree and Star, get out of here.
Wait, so Mitch broke himself out of jail, and so he's back now?
Mitchell Bradbury in the flesh. Kicks in the
Mitchell
door
Bradbury
of the
left a trail of blood and viscera behind him as he destroyed my entire world.
Turns out
he just pointed at stuff and said, "This isn't real. This is made up."
Yeah, they all just dissolved into jelly beans.
Cast fourth wall.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Wonders and Blunders. Ben was played by Mitchell Bradbury. Bree was played by Kieran Dyke. Kara was played by Kate Clark. Rowan was played by Andy Woolridge. Star was played by Robert. And Valen was played by Evan Walsh. The world of Fadoon was created by your dungeon mom, Mike Fardy. and exists in the D&D 5e universe published by Wizards of the Coast. Episodes of Wonders and Blunders are edited by TV's Adam Clark. Thank you, Adam. We're an independent podcast supported by you, the listener, but we may take on the occasional ad to help cover our operating costs. If you'd like to support the show directly and monetarily, and get access to ad-free episodes and bonus content, head over to patreon.com/wonderandblunder. If you'd like to support the show, but can't spare the cash, that's totally fine. Follow us on social media at Wonder and Blunder, and be sure to rate the show 5 stars on your podcatcher of choice. Thank you for following us on this fantastic journey, and as always, keep being the best. We love you very much, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.